Hey y'all, welcome to another Eclectic review. I'm the Eclectic Blerd. For this review, we're going to be going over Stranger Things, episode 2, or what they call it, chapter 2, the Wierdo on Maple Street. But before I begin, let me explain a couple things. First, in my reviews, I start off with a general overview of the show or the movie. I kind of give you the explanation and how I normally talk. And generally speaking, I just tell you how I feel about the show at the end. And in the middle, you get an explanation, right? So, before I begin, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Become one of my eclectics. So we have more eclectic reviews like this. And I've been doing WandaVision, and I've already done episode 1 of Stranger Things. So y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's get to it. All right. Stranger Things, chapter 2. Last week I called them the Goonies supernaturally. So my Goonies are Will, Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. That's why I call it the Goonies, even though Will disappeared in the first episode, of course. And my overall thing about the second episode is this. You got my attention. My interest is piqued. They introduced Elle, and she seems to be a very interesting character here, as well as starting to try to understand the dynamic inside of the Goonies. And they're actually looking at the brothers and sisters, at least the sister of Mike. And all of that is going on at the same time in this episode. Mike's sister and this guy, hooking up and everything. Mike's and sister best friend, Barb. But I will get to all of that. But overall, my interest picked now. I'm trying to see what's going on with my new age Goonies, man. Yeah, I know they got names, but they new age Goonies for now. Maybe we gotta get deeper in. I'd start calling them by name because who knows what's gonna happen in the show. But in episode 2, Elle got took to Mike's house, get put in the basement. And of course it was raining and storm when they saw him at the end of episode 1, remember? And so they was there, and of course Lucas like, man, bruh, I don't know, she looked kind of crazy. She don't really talk. And then they brought her to clothes. She was just about to get undressed in front of him, and Dustin like, oh, she's trying to get undressed. Something wrong with her. And of course, they're what, 10, 11, 12, middle school. So I don't know what the age is at. Maybe the 11-ish, 12-ish, 13-ish, somewhere in there. And of course, they're like, man, she crazy. So Mike's like, oh, go to the bathroom. And where he went to close the door, she's like, no, don't close it all the way. So she kind of cracked it. Of course, she's not talking a lot. She's not using words a lot. And so she go in there and change. And they're like, we need to turn them in. And they're like, no. And Mike's like, no, I got a plan. We'll do something in the morning to make sure my mom is here. But right now, we're all getting in trouble. Now, because we was out late trying to look for Will when we shouldn't have been. And they're like, all right, cool. So the two buddies left. And then the next day happened. Mike go up, make 3 Eggos, put one in his pocket, and chow it down like in 2 seconds. I thought he was like Shaggy off Scooby-Doo, man. He was just chowing down on him. And of course, everybody looking at him like, something wrong with you? She's like, no. So he pretended to go to school, but didn't go. And so the buddies were looking for him. They thought something happened to him. So he went back to the house to show Elle around and to explain things to Elle, like chairs. And, it's like, I don't know where Elle has been. because she really looks like she doesn't understand general normal stuff that kids will understand. And then they went up to his room. He was showing us stuff they played with, Yoda and everything. And then she saw Will in a picture and pointed at him. And he was like, you know, Will, you see Will? Where's Will? And then the mother showed up. So he threw her in the closet and she got scared to go in there. And he was like, I promise, I'm going to come back for you. And she was like, what does promise mean? And he was like, that means that somebody tells you something and they're not going to break it. And he closed the door and went downstairs and talked to the mom. It's like, look, I didn't go to school today. My stomach was hurt. I was sick. I didn't want you to send me to school. And he was like, look, your best friend, disappeared. I know you're going through stuff. Just talk to me. Normal parent speech. I would do that to my daughter, right? But then he ran back up. But during all that speech, she had memory of looking like she was some sort of place. And she was hollering for somebody that looked like her father. And they threw her into this little room like she was crazy. It was just weird. And she was howling in a dream. And by the time Mike came and opened the door, she was crying from being in that closet in the dark like that. So she had some claustrophobic thing or some bad memory of having to go through that. And it's just like, oh my God, what did they do to this girl? It was very interesting. Did I say that before? She's interesting. So all that's going on, right? So now the rest of the Goonies show up, with the exception of Will, of course, Lucas and Dustin. And they're like, hey, what's she doing here, man? And he was like, look, she in trouble. People gonna come for us. Bad man, she said that she's trying to hide. That's why I didn't turn her in. And that bad man gonna come for her and us too. So we need to be calm about it. And they're like, nah, I don't believe that. She crazy. And Luca come up, where's Will? Where's Will? Kind of spooking her a little bit. And she's like, do nothing. So he's like, I'm turning her in. He goes to leave the door. The door slams. Pow! Leave the door slams. Pow, pow. They turn around. She's standing there saying no. At that point, there's some telekinesis stuff going on. What's going on with that? So that was very interesting. I'm like, so she got some sort of powers. I know there's not comic book stuff, but let's see what's going on with that. So at that point, they go back down. Yes, I'm gonna stay on the Goonies. So they go back down to the basement and everything, and then, first they eat dinner, and of course she's just sitting there like, and everybody's sitting at the table and nothing's going on, and little things happen, but they all go back down to the basement, and they're asking, where do you really know where Will's at? So she sits down, and first, I forgot to explain to her what a friend is. Your homie, what you do for a friend, how friends treat you. And so then they sit down to look like the first game of Dungeons and Dragons they were playing in episode 1, right? And so she takes the game and picks up the piece that Will was in the last game. And of course, Dustin like, oh, magic, superpowers. But she turns the board over and puts the character Will in the middle, which is the wizard. And they're like, that's Will. She's like, he hiding from the bad man that you're talking about. And she's like, something else going on. And they put I forgot the character in Dungeons and Dragons in the thing. And I was like, what? Now at the same time, while all that's going down, the sister is all off with her little boyfriend that she tricked Barb into going to the house because the parents weren't there. So she go to have fun. So she drinks, and all of a sudden she want to make love to her boyfriend while Blerd cut her hand trying to do what they did and cutting cans and all this nonsense. And Will's brother actually taking a picture of him because he was out at the place where Will disappeared taking pictures. heard screaming, thought something was happening, and then he saw him. He just taking pictures of them, having fun and playing. I don't know if he like one of them or he just like taking. I don't know. That was just kind of weird for me for him to be taking their pictures. And I thought he was just taking pictures of one person, but he actually took pictures for a lot of different people in there. And I forgot earlier. Will's brother went to see the old crazy father. Just, oh my God. You want to talk about Dad, Big Dad? He one of them, right? And telling him that he disappeared and it's real and stopped messing around. And then he just drove back off. And then he had a memory about playing music with Will and telling Will, don't ever tell people you like something that you don't like. Just be your authentic self, basically. So he's telling be authentic self, they turn the music up because the mother and father in this memory were arguing, right? And so now fast forward, he's taking those pictures and everything. So everybody go upstairs because they jump in the pool. The other 4 people jump in the pool playing around with clothes on. Of course, it's cold still. And so they go inside and Barb come down like, y'all wet, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, the sister like, I'll find a way home, you can go home. So Barb go out and sit at the pool and her fingers start bleeding. And Will's brother is still snapping pictures, even of Barb. So I'm like, okay, he just trying to get pictures and stuff. Then all of a sudden, whatever that monster is showed up. And I'm thinking like, no, Barb, no. I kind of like Barb. And I'm like, she gone. She got like 10 minutes on screen and she already gone. But it's all good. That's just how it goes. And so then, of course, in the middle of all this, you have Will's mother and you have the sheriff. Will's mother looked like she going crazy. She keep hearing Will on the phone. She keep hearing music that Will like. And so she's really starting to look like she's going crazy. It looked like something finna come through the wall at one point. And she ran off, but then ran right back in. She just looked on the edge. She looked like she was about to crack on the rail. And now we fast forward to the sheriff. He's hard to figure out. He just, even for episode 1, he looked like he had something went on in his life that got him all like, man, bump this. I ain't got time for the nonsense. I'm gonna drink and smoke and lollygag around here. But this Will disappearance, it looked like it's starting to wake him up a little bit. And then he got a call that the guy from the first episode that they killed, remember? When they were chasing, well, at the point, I know who it was, but when they were chasing Ale. And he's there, and somehow they put a gun in his thing with a suicide note. I'm like, really? You in a small town, ain't nobody in that little town gonna believe this dude committed suicide. That's what I'm thinking. But of course, they bring in the friends and they're like, man, we were talking about going fishing and everything. I didn't think he was gonna be like that. And they're like, oh, there was a kid that broke in, and they're like, a kid? And they brought the pictures like, no, it wasn't Will, that's what's the name, son. No, bro. It was some other kid, shaved head. They're like, well, you sure? And they're like, it could have been. We only saw from the peripheral. Maybe, I'm not sure. But he was so stressed that his friend was dead. So they went back out and started looking. And the teacher, the science teacher, found a little spot, looked like a tube. Like rainwater would go, right? And it was very small, it'd be hard for somebody to fit through there. And they found some cloth on it. And one of the police was like, well, it'd be hard for a kid to crawl through there. And the sheriff was like, wait, they said, the brother said he likes to hide. And they go look, all of a sudden, it's that fence from episode 1. I'm like, do they got Will over there? What is going on? This is just wow. So for me, what's going on right now, episode 2 really brought me all the way in. Now, episode 1 was okay, but it didn't pique my interest like episode 2 did. So much going on, and I'm a mystery person, so they're able to bring in kind of sci-fi stuff with this goony thing, but with mystery and tying things together and pushing. the time together and the mystery part of this is what's pulling me in all the way. I'm trying to understand who Elle is. I'm trying to understand the sheriff. I'm trying to understand how the Goonies work. I'm trying to understand how any of the teenagers fit other than, oh my God, Barb. Oh, I feel so bad for you, Barb. I feel so bad for you. But all of that is what's really pulling me in. And the dialogue is great. So I'm trying to make it watch this show once a week. But it's going to be difficult to watch it once a week. But that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But it's going to be difficult, I know. And I want to beat before the season 4 come in, which means I got 3 seasons of this to get through before the end. And so I'm really kind of, I don't like binge watching. That ain't me. I like, the weekly watching and everything, but I don't know if I can do the weekly watching with this, so I might have to start watching a little bit more often than once a week. And start dropping, that'd be good for y'all, because I'll be dropping more videos more often instead of once a week on it. So we'll see where it goes and how it fits and how my viewing goes for this. And like I said, I've been dropping videos on WandaVision that you can go see. We got a new top 4 that's going to be coming out over the next 3 or 4 days. So we have a lot going on the What the Cell channel. We got a lot we're going to be talking about. It's been fun. I've really been enjoying coming and talk about this stuff with you guys. And again, if you want, just subscribe to this channel. Become one of my Eclectics. Hit the like button. Go ahead and leave comments down at the bottom if you like. We can interact about this episode, because more than likely, everybody's seen this. Yeah, I know I'm late, but still, we can still talk about it. And also, I like a plethora of things. So if you want to interact with me more often, you can follow me on Twitter at Blerd Eclectic. You can follow me on Instagram at _eclectic_blerd. Or you can follow this channel on Facebook at What the Soul. Again, I want to thank y'all for coming for this great eclectic review about Stranger Things episode 2. I can't wait to watch episode 3. Oh, sorry. Chapter 3. And post that video for y'all to start getting further and further into what's happening. Until next time, y'all, I'm out.